You're listening to the Paracasual Destiny Podcast, episode 43. A special welcome to the casual players of Destiny, and thank you for tuning in. This is our live broadcast, which we do every other Saturday at 7 p.m., and you can find the archived audio wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Sooltime, and I'm joined tonight by RomanceGirl. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
And Greenstego.
Cheers.
And Salliebug's only here in spirit. She is attending a wedding in North Carolina at the moment. And so I know all hell is going to break loose, but we decided to carry on anyway. I figure if the Rolling Stones could go on without Charlie Watts, we can go on without Salliebug. So
no lore today, though. No discussions of lore.
we can't even mention lore. Unless, of course, we might have a surprise guest for some time or no time. We don't know. We would love to have one of our clanmates come in and weigh in on some of these topics that we are going to talk about today. And the first topic, just a little check-in, seasonal event, Festival of the Lost, progress, activities. What say you, Greenstego? Have you made any progress on your candy?
Little.
Oh,
the
little.
candy grind is real this year. The masks.
You heard it, folks.
The price of the masks this year, very steep.
Yeah,
I don't remember feeling quite so daunted upon looking at Eva's festive holiday wares ever before.
Yeah, it's like they're in tune with the real life inflation that's going on, I guess. The prices of those masks. Holy cow. And then there's been a little bit of controversy. Well, there's always controversy in this game. That's what makes it so much fun. There's been a little bit of controversy in some of the cheesy ways to get, candy, not candy, those spectral pages really quickly. And they nerfed like three of the best methods to get it quickly. Not that it affects us that much, because we're lucky if we have time to get on. And when you said little,
yeah, and what I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
I do not enjoy those kinds of farms where I have to do the same thing over and over again. I will avoid that at all costs.
True that, yeah, and that's the Salliebug and
It's
I
just
were
not
like,
my style.
yeah, Salliebug and I are like, nah, we did that way back in those faction days when you could just farm the same lost sector over and over again. There was like a bug, and we did that, and then I was like, why am I doing this? This is just, I should be reading a book.
Yeah, my guardian has had an existential crisis since then. Has
Yes,
stopped
I think all of our guardians
farming activities.
we've all gone
really
through that
wanna-
existential crisis since those
Do I
days.
really want to log on and hop onto the digital treadmill? Like, that's not why we play.
No, it's not. That is very, very true. And
I think, and I will say that if Bungie doesn't want people to really play the game that way, I think it's fine for them to adjust the rewards.
yeah, it's
To say,
obvious.
like, hey, spread the love on the activities, because the game functions when other people are playing other activities. So when you have people just soloing these farms, it's actually just, you have to think about it that way. It's just not great for the overall player ecosystem to have these niche farms going on.
Yeah, it's like, it's a part of being the responsible adult. You have to say, like, look, you're not actually having fun.
You are part of the Vanguard still. You have to do your duty.
Being the responsible guardian. Yes, a part of the Vanguard.
Play your gambit.
Yes, citizen. I feel like there's an analogy in here because I was having a discussion with somebody about, pandemic policy, and there's two things at odds. There's the what's best for the individual, and weighing out all those risks, but also the other thing is what's best for the community, what's best for the people at large, right? And those two things are oftentimes at odds with one another, and it's caused a lot of friction. Of course, the issue's been politicized as well, but it's a fair analogy. Same thing with Destiny. I think the underlying theme, and this could thread into some of the other topics I threw up there for us to hit upon, is this underlying theme of it's a playlist or it's a match made, or if I can extend matchmaking to just going into the same space with other people, like when you're doing a public event. The game, that's the lifeblood of this game, is a collaborative effort to make a public event go heroic or go faster if the community decides, hey, we don't want to take that long on this to get our 2 spectral pages or whatever it is now for a public event. But also with the strikes, the nightmare hunts, the empire hunts, the list. Like if you could just make a list of all the activities, and then you're splitting up those activities into different levels of difficulty, the game is really dependent upon herding the community across these playlists, across these match-made activities, across these instances with fellow guardians around. As much as you might want to be a solo player, which you can do in this game, I think that is a lot of the driving force behind the decisions as of late. And certainly in the case of just this little example of them nerfing people going in solo into these activities just to get their spectral pages done very quickly, right?
Yeah.
I see
now,
both
just
sides.
To clarify for our listeners,
sure.
When you said hurting, do you mean hurting like causing pain, or hurting like a sheepdog?
No, hurting like sheep. Yeah. Sheeple. The guardians are sheeple.
Like in a good way.
No, I mean, yeah, populating. Is that a nicer word?
No.
Populating other activities forcefully.
Exactly. If everybody,
forcibly.
if a lot of the if a lot of the players grind out Festival of the Lost in the first week, and some people are able to do that, and then they come in and they can't get match-made haunted lost sectors, that's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Not only that, if you have people opting to do these solo runs rather than going into a Crucible match or a Strike playlist to get your goodies, it takes away. If you're allowing people to stray away from the lifeblood of the game, which is match-made activities, and I'm extending the matchmaking to just being in the same instance, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I find it kind of amusing when people get upset when Bungie changes the rules, and it's it's their game.
It's human nature, though. It's human nature.
It is amusing. It's just.
It is.
It's their rules. They can set these, especially when it's just so minor, in my opinion.
Right.
Also, here's another perspective that I'm just now thinking of. Is it's they're kind of like addicts who are binging on the game on these activities.
Okay.
This is getting dark.
Moving on. This is that might have been too extreme.
I think there's some truth in this.
If you say no, we're putting a cap on how much alcohol or cigarettes you're allowed to purchase, and they're an addict, then they would respond in a similar way, mangry.
Can't take away my candy, man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's Bungie keeps screwing up my game.
Yes.
It's that sense of entitlement. But I do get the other side. I mean, let us play your damn game is sort of the other side. I was just getting, I don't have a lot of time this week. I just wanted to hop on. I'll tell you what Salliebug and I enjoyed doing was we just did public event hopping. And it was like fun because we were communicating. We were in a fire team together, just going around nailing out, knocking out public events and having fun. And then every now and again, you get to, exchange emotes with the people if they're interested when you open the chest at the end, and then off to another location, just so it was like a change of scene, a change of activity. And
we did the same thing for
it's mindless. Right?
It was just like
mindless fun.
We did that a little bit on the EDZ and the Tangled Shore, and then today the Moon, and it was just like very nostalgic for those early days in Destiny 1, where public events were a very big deal, and it was just fun to cruise around and meet up with other Guardians and actually just patrol.
Yeah, and I noticed. Congratulations to the Minions of Mortimer, because I noticed while I was on earlier today that our clan fully leveled up its banner. So we are all 6 perks.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that. We were there for that.
Yeah.
I think our patrols helped.
Yeah, I was patrolling too, sure.
So.
I was trying to get my clan XP and just regular XP, doing some bounties on the Cosmodrome and the Moon in some places. A lot of my activities recently have been on my alt characters because I want to do the storyline stuff in the main, sort of like even the Haunted Lost Sectors with Salliebug. So when she's not around...
Have you done Haunted Lost Sectors yet?
I have done quite a few. Salliebug and I have probably... I think we're about total. Halfway done with the manuscripts or whatever they're called when you convert the spectral pages.
You're further along than us.
Sure. Yeah, we took it. We played a few nights that first week, and then we played a little bit on the last weekend. We played a lot on last Saturday because we knew we had to go do some other stuff Saturday night and Sunday. So,
what's everyone's thoughts on the Haunted Lost Sectors?
I really like them. I'm having fun. It hasn't gotten old with me. Like I said, we're only halfway through the pages, so.
I love them. I thought it was a great choice of having Glint be the narrator.
Very good, yep. and I feel it's also time to just have a break from the Haunted Forest, right? We've been doing that so many times now.
Exactly.
It was kind of good. Of course, the other way to look at that, I hear some people whining, saying, "Yeah, they Bungie can't win most of the time. Yeah, we don't have the Haunted Forest anymore. I miss it. I miss it." And then they say that stupid. The reason we don't have it is because of the Destiny content vault. So they're supporting the narrative of being disgruntled about Bungie taking content away. And, if we did get the Haunted Forest again, which I think they probably could have done, we get maps that have been from locations that have been taken away. They would be complaining, "Oh, this is like the 5th time we've done this. It's boring." The same people would be complaining no matter what. That's just my feeling.
Agree.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
Just something to complain about.
And I'd like to welcome a special guest to the podcast. Welcome, Ghost.
Hello.
Hey, Ghost.
What are your thoughts on Haunted Lost Sectors? Let's just jump right into it.
Just jump right in.
I haven't been playing as much. I just got to 1349 and then just stopped playing for a bit.
Wow, you're still way ahead of me. That's awesome, though. But yeah, after 1349, I suspect you need a good break. You need a good break.
Yeah, no, this is a good season to just spread it out.
Yeah. You haven't really done the Haunted Lost Sectors then?
Oh, I've given them a run.
Yeah.
Quite a few runs.
Oh, good. Have you finished those pages?
No, that's one thing I'm lacking on.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
How many of the new masks have you purchased?
Up to the one that kind of looks like a penguin.
Yeah, they're expensive. We
They're
started off
so
the podcast
expensive.
talking
I've only
about how
have two.
expensive they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are ridiculous.
It's
But if you go on all characters and go on those trees to get those candy
That-
every reset,
that's what I've
you
been
get gold.
doing.
Ooh, good
Pro
point.
tip, pro
Yeah,
tip,
well.
pro tip. Yeah, definitely go on each character, no matter what level your alts are, and climb them trees.
And that's a daily reset?
No,
That's
that's
like a weekly reset.
it's weekly.
If you haven't done it on your other characters, you can still do it now.
But it's but it's a good deal of
It's a good
candy.
way to get a decent amount.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that
decent.
purple one's like 250, so it's worth it. Yeah.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, I just got the ornaments for the Titan and the Hunter. I didn't know if I wanted the Warlock one, but I definitely got them too.
The dinosaur.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I just purchased the Dinosaur Hunter one. I just figured it's a moment. I gotta have it.
I'm broke
Yeah.
on like Bright Dust, so
I know. I felt so rich with Bright Dust up until Festival of the Lost swooped in and just emptied me.
You better start
my
saving for the
Bright Dust
dawning.
wallet. Right?
Yeah.
Gonna get on those seasonal challenges.
that's gonna. Yeah, I've done most of the seasonal challenges, so getting the Bright Dust is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The only one I haven't done yet is Gambit, because like the seasonal challenge to get the rocket launcher ornament, I really can't be asked, because it's like you basically got to get to legend twice. So you get the rocket, and then you got to reset, and then get that legend again just to get the ornament.
Yeah.
I know it's an
That's
extended
excessive.
season, but I really can't be asked.
Yeah, that's excessive though.
It's like it's the same on all three. Like you gotta
I
get
would
the
do
rocket
Gambit with
first.
you though. We could jam it up in Gambit.
Jam it up in Gambit right after the podcast. Let's get on. Do it. I put a new slide up. I was a little hesitant there, but and the slide depicts the ornaments that I am buying. I opted out of the dinosaur because for the warlock, it's really kind of lame. For me, from my perspective anyway. That's my opinion about it. I didn't really like the dinosaur ornaments for the warlock, so I've been picking up these what are they called? Chthonic? The Chthonic armor ornament set. And it's kind of like...
Is that like black and neon?
It's
yeah.
the skeletons. Yeah, it's like a neon skeleton design, which I really like. It's very Halloween.
Yeah, I was...
Hood. That's the only thing I don't like.
What's
you
that?
take the hood off, and like the top half of the raptor head goes.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I know. I heard some other people saying they didn't like that, but they tried.
I
That's
think I still like.
I do like.
I still like.
I do still. Yeah, I like the dinosaur robot armor. Obviously, it's a classic. It doesn't feel particularly Halloweeny,
right.
which is kind of what I was.
It's more
looking
Jurassic
back at the
Park
store.
theme type of thing.
Yeah, which yes, dinosaurs are scary. We were all scared
Dinosaurs
when we
are
watched
awesome.
Jurassic Park, but they're awesome. They have a magnificence about them, which is not really the same terrifying energy that Count Dracula and Frankenstein's monster really capture.
Well, dinosaurs actually existed. That's a big difference too.
Yes,
But
true.
they went like sci-fi dinosaurs, right? It was like robot dinos.
Yeah, Dinobots.
Dinobots.
Yeah, we can say Dinobots, I think, on the podcast. Do we have the rights to that?
Yeah, we do have Dinobots rights. We purchased that last year. I'm really glad, Ghost, that you joined us, because the next two topics I wrote down for us to talk about are probably ones that are a little bit out of casual reach for us, and maybe you have some experience with the boosted difficulty, astral alignment, and shattered realm. Have you tried that at all?
No, I haven't tried them yet.
You haven't tried those? How about the Trials Freelance?
No, I only do trials with Nikos and Pelham, and we managed to get flawless every time so far.
Oh.
So you really don't need the loot anymore.
Every time.
I mean, the sword, we haven't got this weekend's one, but apparently the trial's flawless matchmaking apparently stops at 6 o'clock, like reset tomorrow. So we're probably going to jump in there so we don't come up against
Okay, that makes sense.
flawless people.
Do you have any interest whatsoever in the Freelance Labs playlist this weekend?
I mean, I don't mind jumping in and trying it, but
Yeah,
Freelance isn't really my style.
I noticed Anthropoloho actually put in something, asked in our Discord if anybody was going to try.
Nicholas is giving it a go. I haven't.
Do you know how he liked it?
I mean, he said, Callum, what did Nicholas say when
Yeah,
went
what did
Freelance?
Nicholas say?
It's kind of hard to do, if I'm honest, because obviously there's no communication between. I mean, I suppose you can go into like game chat and do it that way. Because I've seen a lot of people do that when I've been doing it. Like when we do trials, normally people just go into game chat on the opposite team.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. My experience with the Trials Freelance is all condensed down to watching a short while ago watching the Aztecross video on it, and he kind of loved it. He didn't know what to expect, but he really, really likes it.
He's Aztec and he's really good. So
well, here's his.
I wish he did give the stats on how often he was top player.
Yeah.
Because it does take. He did make a point of saying it does heavily depend on if your fire team is willing to stay close by.
Yeah. But what he said, somebody who has been playing Trials as long as he has, he says it's refreshing because what happens in Trials is you get used to your team. You know, you're usually in one of 2 or 3 teams that you get really used to each other, and you can almost know what the other guy's doing that's on your team. And this is kind of refreshing for him to go in and see what the people he's matched with are going to do. And you kind of have to, you know, with no communication, he felt it was challenging because it got him outside of his box. He had to start doing stuff differently than he's done in the past. And it was kind of exciting for him to, and a challenge for him to try to do well in a Freelance playlist like that.
I actually haven't had that much bad luck when I have dabbled my toe into Freelance competitive.
Right. Yeah, me neither. But that's ranked. Isn't that ranked? So that's kind of match-made, skill-based.
I'm not sure how much they do that.
Yeah, who knows?
Keeps changing. Yeah, so I guess the only concern is splitting the population again, right?
Exactly. That is an issue.
I like the way Trials is right now. They even took the, you know, when you get matched, they took the number so you can't tell. Like, you know, you can tell if you're going against stacked or not. They took that away.
Yeah, that's a big improvement.
That's a huge improvement.
But what do you think about always offering? I mean, Freelance is a labs officially. So what do you think about making Freelance a permanent playlist?
I think it should be permanent, just for people that don't have teams. And you know, because it's just playing games.
What I said is they should make your to transition from a solo player to a team.
And you could find people. You can actually find friends.
You jive with in Freelance, you could send them an invite, and it doesn't like mess up anything. Like that should. I think that whole process could be a little smoother in Destiny.
If you're compatible with your other players, you can send them friend requests and maybe even have like a Trials team.
If you're not going for flawless, then Freelance is a good way because it's just every rank you get an engram, and you can just hand that into Rahul.
That's a good point.
To get, like random.
I am with what Sooltime mentioned off air, and that I would just be afraid of upsetting people that I get matched with if I don't live up to their
That's my big thing. I can't stand pissing people off.
I don't want to disappoint people. And
I know. I'm the same way.
If I die,
Romance. Yeah.
If I make a mistake even, I would just feel really bad too. Like if they don't need to send me a message to make me feel bad. I feel bad.
Yeah. If I were playing with my clanmates, I would feel a little more comfortable probably.
Well, I mean, Charles is going to change when they nerf some stuff like Dune Marches and Vex. So.
Right.
I've been going around with two marchers, like
I don't think my
hitting one
skill
person and
gap is
killing them all.
enough for that to matter.
Yeah, I can see why they'd want to nerf it.
I'm really happy though
fun.
to hear that there's that, especially like Ghost and Pelham and Nicholas can have some success in trials after the once the flawless pool goes active. That's so cool. And there's actually, I'm thinking, they want you to win 20 rounds. Now, before they revamp trials, I would say forget it. No way would I ever be on a team winning 20 rounds of trials. But that's one of the seasonal challenges, is to win 20 rounds this weekend in trials. And I forget what the name of the challenge is, but it's actually doable, I think, by a lot more people these days. They anticipated a lot more people coming into the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little off topic, Ghost, but how are your cats doing these days?
Yeah, they're doing alright.
They're doing okay?
Bruce has been a bully.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, because we got this roof right below my window, and he smacked Stitch off it. So
Aww.
No.
That
they're kind
is
of
being a
separated now. They
bully.
don't like each other.
Oh. Yeah, our cats have been tussling a lot. The two that we have been they're either like washing each other and friendly, or just, fisticuffs, rolling around, hurting each other. We have to break up the fight some of the time. But, well, that's good to hear that they're
Probably need structured playtime.
Yeah, more structured playtime. We just haven't had time.
Yeah, it's hard.
They came in the kitchen when we had the dog, and now they just waltz in the kitchen whenever they feel like it now and go out the back door.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's no dog anymore. We lost him August 29th.
Oh, no. Oh, man, you've been through a lot of loss with the dogs.
Yeah, 3 years, 3 dogs.
Jeez, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's rough. That is very rough.
Yeah, he died of old age.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's not good that he died.
No, it's never easy.
He lived a life.
That's a very
so
difficult thing.
It's just the cats now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a different energy in the house now?
I mean, the kitchen door, like, normally... It's weird going in the kitchen and not seeing them, though.
Yeah.
That's got to be really... I think there's a puppy in the future for your household.
I don't think my mom wants another dog.
Well...
They're a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is. It's something to consider. And the last topic before we get into talking about loadouts, if you've been using a particular weapon or a piece of armor, or heck, getting a catalyst or something like that. Before we get into that, the last thing I wanted to just have you guys weigh in on is there's been some controversy over the pricing structure for Witch Queen. And I think that ties in a little bit with the grumbling some people are having with the content vault. And I'll start off. I'll say that, again, Bungie can do whatever they want to do. You sign you sign the waiver when you play the game, the EULA, the end user agreement, or whatever they call it in video games. But
I don't think I'm too bothered about it, to be honest. I mean, they're not exactly making as much money as they used to, so
I think for players like us who are hardcore fans of the game, this isn't an issue. I do see, coming from like somebody just getting into the game, if you pay $25 today for Forsaken, you really only have it for 3 months, right? You don't have it very long. So I kind of have a problem with that.
They're making it free to play for its last months.
Yeah, but I guess my criticism would be, can you give people a little longer with it? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who's really excited to get into Destiny, and I want to buy. And the other issue I've heard brought up, and this is actually Mylan Games brought up the fact that you're with the pricing structure, and it's like a quasi subscription, quasi live service, quasi DLC like structure in terms of the lore is like, how do you catch up? Like, other than going to, like, for a new player, like, other than going to YouTube, you're just going to have to go down like a YouTube rabbit hole to try to get backstory.
I think it's the same with most games though. Like when you're really late into it, you're gonna get disoriented because they've already moved on with stuff.
And
I
yeah,
agree.
and again, for us, I think we've been disoriented for 7 years. That's like kind of what I remember, like the first year of Destiny D1, remember? It's like, what the heck is going on here? Everything was really fragmented and disjointed back in those days. And they've come such a long way, you know, with storyline and whatnot.
It's not like it's lost forever either, you know, content vault and stuff.
Right.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I think people might be overestimating how many people actually do want to take that deep of a dive into back lore. I think some people like to just jump into a game and enjoy it for where it is.
Right. And so,
and then I don't know. I don't actually have a pulse on that, but.
And for the pricing structure for Witch Queen, they've been pretty explicit about what it is. There's been some backlash over separating the dungeons out as separate purchases.
And that doesn't bother me, to be honest.
Well, if you get the deluxe edition, you don't have to worry about it, right? So that's kind of the.
I feel like the only people who have even brought this up as an issue are people who have pre-ordered the deluxe edition. And they're all just making up this person who may not buy the deluxe edition, but still want to buy the dungeons.
Again, we've talked about, like, already in this podcast, a section, a segment of the player base that always finds something to complain about. And it feels like there's always some kind of, like, onboarding complaint that's like established players complaining about hypothetical new players that aren't necessarily real.
Well, I mean, one of the complaints was I bought the standard edition because I usually wait and get season passes, you know, after I've heard about them or seen them come out and decide whether I want to do that or not, or whether I have time that season to dive into it. So somebody and the truth is Bungie has set up that model. You can just get standard edition and then a la carte seasons, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they if you pre-purchase, this person was saying, I pre-ordered the standard edition, and now they tell me that I'll have to buy, you know, dungeons are not included. And so
But if they were already waiting to see what the season was going to say, and if having a dungeon being included was a big part of that season, maybe it's for the better. Maybe they weren't interested in the seasonal content, and now they have the opportunity to buy the dungeon separately.
Except you're paying a lot more now, right? Whereas before it was actually
they are charging for it a la carte.
I get what it is. The dungeons were included before. That's what this person was used to, and they changed it. Again, it gets back to, like, people don't like change, right?
But they're offering twice as many dungeons per year now.
Yeah,
because they want the money.
Well, because it's being funded.
Right.
Well, I mean, if they're charging for dungeons, maybe they're making them a bit like more bigger.
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's twice as many. They're saying there's going to be 2 dungeons released in year 5. So,
which is twice as many as
I think what all of this comes down to is people really feel uncomfortable paying for art they consume.
Well, they won't be. I don't think they'll be
Yes.
complaining much considering this season's extended, so they'll get bored, and then when it finally comes out, they'll be fine.
Right. I guess
Yeah.
I feel like it's convoluted though. I feel like it's really hard to
I
suss
agree
out.
with that. I think it is a communication error.
I think it's
But that's a
messaging.
completely different conversation than what we've been having. There's like two conversations. There's one, is it fair to charge this much for deluxe edition dungeons
Right.
slash
Oh, it's
dungeons
a
a la
great
carte?
deal. I mean, to me, that's the best deal out there, right?
Yes, and pre-orders are usually the better deal. Pre-order deluxe editions are usually the best deal if you're going to consume
Right.
everything that comes with it. That's not Destiny alone. That's any video game. Usually there are a
Sure.
lot of goodies included with pre-orders.
Yeah, and exotic submachine gun.
Exactly. But yeah, but then there's the other issue, which I do agree on, and that's how clear the communication is of if you're making a change in the way that you're rolling out
Right.
pricing,
I almost
or the way
think
you're bundling content.
you should just
then
have
you should be clear.
just have the standard edition should be the deluxe edition for $80, and then you could have
No,
sort of
I
the
don't necessarily
30th.
agree with that. What if someone? I think actually not that many people play dungeons. I would guess. So because they are pretty involved activities.
Right.
So I think that
Yeah, I
having
already
the
love them
dungeon
now, to
be
be honest.
reserved to maybe more hardcore players is actually a fairer
I think
pricing model.
they're probably more accessible than raids, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. But I think next to raids, they are one of the more involved activities that a casual player just jumping into Destiny, like maybe a free to play who's interested in upgrading, it's not going to be one of the first activities that a new player does.
Okay, I don't
It
know.
might be. I mean, depending on the player and what other games they've played. Of course, it's all different.
Well, so instead of having piecemeal seasons, 3 different editions with the deluxe one with the 30th anniversary bundle, separate a la carte dungeons. I mean, it gets so and the Eververse store and all this different stuff. Would you be willing to just pay $6 or $7 a month subscription to Destiny 2 and have all this stuff? Because that's what $80 is, really. It's a deal.
Yeah, of course I would, because I'm a big fan of Destiny.
Would you do that, Richard? Would you pay just a yearly subscription of $80, or $6?
That sounds reasonable.
$6 or $7 a month. Of course, that's in U.S. dollars. I'm talking. It's going to be 1.5 times that for you. But yeah,
I already pre-ordered that and the 30th anniversary thing. I did it as soon as I saw it because I know I'm going to play it.
I think they just need to do that. I think they need to figure out a simpler model that isn't as convoluted and piecemeal at this point. That's my personal opinion about it. But to make it easier access for people.
I think Witch Queen's going to be a game changer anyway.
Well, it's going to be a new campaign. There's going to be weapon crafting. Let's not forget a new raid. A new 6-player activity that nobody knows what it's going to be, but we'll see.
2
and
dungeons.
hopefully Kingsfall.
If you get the deluxe edition.
2 dungeons. Even if you don't, you can pay $10.
I mean, guys, they've never done 2 dungeons in a single year before, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm more excited for what D1 raid's coming back. It's probably Kingsfall though.
Now, Ghost, it doesn't sound like you're shedding a tear for the fact that the Tangled Shore is going bye-bye.
No. I never went to that place. I need to spider, so I'm not going to miss it that much.
There you have it.
Greenstego just found out today that it wasn't also the Dreaming City getting vaulted. He thought because of all the hubbub about it that Dreaming City was also. And Last Wish.
Yep, I did.
All right.
Cat's out of the bag.
I think it's time to move on to our loadout section. Time for
Let's.
Paracasual loadouts.
I dare you.
Yeah. So what was, Richard, can you remember the last exotic weapon you were using before you took your break from Destiny?
1K.
1K? Yeah, you were kind of married to that 1K
chapter.
for a while.
Aegis Scepter. I got the catalyst done for that, and it's OP. Even in Crucible, it's just OP.
Do we
Wait, a
know who
catalyst
has
for 1
Vex?
kb?
That trace rifle, the Stasis one.
Oh,
Augers.
Yeah.
Is it
Like, when
Auger
that
or
came out,
Ager?
it was just, I don't know.
I've
Ager.
heard it both ways.
I got the catalyst done for it, and I think it's just OP.
I think they've said it in game multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Auger, but I can't.
Auger's Scepter. Yeah. Well, I already the cat's out of the bag. I have been sporting. Yeah, like I said, I've been playing mainly on my alt characters lately, doing leveling up and finishing up some Shadowkeep campaigns and quests, and also Europa stuff. I still haven't gotten all the exotic armor that came with Beyond Light.
I still haven't got like the aspects from my Warlock for Stasis.
Yes, that too. I still haven't gotten all the aspects and things, but I have to celebrate Halloween and the Festival of the Lost. I have purchased those chthonic sets, and I don't know what it is about those glowy ornaments, armor ornaments, but I feel like they're helping me play better, making a big difference. Maybe it has to do with the clinical fact that placebos work, right? If you look,
the last thing I did was the Grandmaster last week. I think I did that one.
We
Like
never
Shadows
talk.
one?
See, if you came on more regularly, we would talk more about Grandmasters and get
What
some
is a
tips from you.
Grandmaster even?
I know.
Last week they didn't have the weapons I wanted. We just did it, and that's it. One's gone. Now
Wow,
it's
you're turning
comedian.
into a real casual.
Yeah, but at 1349, you should be able to do those Grandmasters now.
Yeah, one more power, and I should be able to do Master Vogue as well.
And they nerfed the boss's stomp at the end of the Corruption Grandmaster, right? From 40% down to 20%, so he doesn't kick you off the map.
It'll find a way.
Anybody else have
funny.
anything? Ghost was running the 1KV.
I finally finished my catalyst for Outbreak Perfected. I have
Nice.
perfected the Outbreak Perfected.
Wow.
Took you long enough.
I now am ready for us to try the strategy where all 6 of us rock a Outbreak Perfected against the
Scourge of the Past.
Scourge of the Past raid boss.
Oh my
When he comes
gosh.
back round again, yeah.
I'm game. I'll infuse that puppy and go down there with you and see what we can
I
No,
really
do.
Scourge of the
It up.
Past isn't available
It's
anymore.
not here anymore. You gotta wait for it to come back round.
Oh, I was confusing Scourge with. I still have my Scourge armor, by the way. I was confusing that with Garden. I was thinking you wanted to try it against the Garden Salvation boss.
Honestly,
No, I hate that boss.
Garden
I'm
would be
never
so
doing that
much-
boss again. He
I
can
think
get
Garden would
bolted.
be so much easier now with like the linear rifles.
Garden is our best raid for sure. This clan can kick Garden of Salvation's ass.
Could you imagine going down
Except
in
for
a
that
garden
boss.
with 6, count 'em, 6 Augers Scepters? That would be awesome. They're so
I'm
OP.
still working on my Augur Scepter, but I did pull my Cold Heart out of the Dusty collections, and I'm starting to work on the catalyst for it.
Nice. Can just backing up a little bit, Greenstego, I don't think you can get the catalyst anymore for the Outbreak.
No, they're going to introduce it, they said.
With Witch Queen?
That's the same. That's probably the same with Whisper as well.
That's right. You can't
Yeah.
get the Whisper catalyst anymore either. Yeah.
They're figuring it out, but they haven't yet.
Well, it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool that they give us veteran players a little treat to walk around with, in the environment. We were there when you could get it, and we got it, and that's kind of cool.
You should have been there.
FOMO.
I got carried.
I did
yeah,
too.
I actually
Not gonna lie.
hardcore carried to the point where I don't think I think it might be illegal nowadays what we did.
Yeah, it's against the TOS.
kind of is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think all good things. I'm trying to think what Salliebug would say at this point in terms of her loadout, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't been
What is
watching.
she using, a hand cannon?
No, she doesn't like hand cannons. What was she using? I think she was using the linear fusion exotic. What is that thing
Lawrence
called?
Driver?
Sliper Simulant?
The Lawrence Driver with the
I hate that thing in
catalyst.
Crucible.
You
Yeah.
hate getting hit in the head with it? Or you hate
Yes.
using it?
We've come across it in Trials quite a few times where it hits one of us in the head and then drags the other two in.
Look, I'll run my Warlock.
That thing.
Yeah, I'll run my Warlock, do an empowering riff for you, and then you can get back at all those people that headshot you with that thing.
I mean, the Trials linear fusion rifle is supposed to be better than 1K for DPS. As long as you get it with like triple tap from Vorpal.
Yeah. Yeah,
No
they're
way.
speaking of Crucible weapons, they're nerfing that Vex Mythoclast, I hear.
Yep.
Taking it down a notch.
As long as they don't nerf it in PvE, I think I'm good.
Well, it's getting nerfed in PvP.
That's alright then. I don't really like PvP anyway.
I wish, I do miss
applicable.
raiding. I wish.
I mean, I think before they nerf that, because I don't think that's as busted as saying tracking fusion rifle, but okay.
Yeah.
They
still
won't.
think
They
Yoda
won't nerf
needs his
Lawrence
nerf.
Driver until next season, though, because it's the seasonal.
Oh, I'm not bothered. I mean, that's alright, but Jotun's still a pain in the ass.
Oh, you're talking about Jotun. Yeah.
I know it's like.
I mean, people say it's easy to avoid. Yeah, if you know it's coming, you can move out of the way and stuff, but it's really annoying.
I can never move out of the way. And I've really, on my hunter, I've
gotten
really
used to just moving
dodged out of the
but
way,
I'm
and I
now.
still get killed by it. Like, I don't know how to do it. Anyway, let's move on. Let's do our Mod Academy. What are you thinking there, Greenstego? Are you ready for a little Mod Academy?
Sure.
Get it together now for Greenstego's Mod Academy. With your host, Greenstego. And what do you have for us in this installment of the Mod Academy?
Today, I'm gonna. I promised this a little bit ago. I was gonna talk a little bit about the new mods for purchase from the Wayfinder's Compass.
Oh, good. I just got the last one today, believe it or not.
Specifically focusing on the Stasis elemental wells, which
I still haven't tried the elemental well build yet. I think I might have to give it a go.
I think
you're in the right place.
After this segment.
You're in the right place. Let's
spot.
see what Stego's dug up.
So before, it was very difficult to get Stasis elemental wells going. The best way to get a well is with a mod that has been available, elemental armaments, where if you're using a weapon of an element that matches your class subtype, then it can spawn a stasis. It can spawn an elemental well. But there weren't really stasis weapons that could do that before this season.
Right.
And now they've added stasis weapons, and they've also added more stasis elemental well mods. So these ones are available for purchase from the seasonal vendor, which is a little machine in the helm by the Queen's Portal. And there are 4 new stasis elemental well mods. They include the Supreme Wellmaker, which spawns 3 stasis wells when you cast your super. Elemental Shards is far and away the most exciting one. Stasis Shards count as stasis elemental wells.
Oh, nice.
So you can be swimming in elemental wells with a stasis well build, which is forthcoming. Also included is Well of Restoration, increases the amount of ability energy that is given by stasis wells, specifically to your ability that has the least energy, which is what elemental wells do. And finally, Elemental Time Dilation. Elemental well mods that grant time-based bonuses have their durations increased. So there are a couple really exciting ones there. For the most part, it's elemental shards. So now,
and I notice it only costs 2 energy, that elemental shards mod.
yes.
Which is
so
nice.
That still allows some flexibility in terms of like which,
yeah,
where it's going. So I have a build that focuses on these stasis elemental wells that I am excited to try once I unlock Ager's Scepter and its Catalyst.
And its ornament. Don't forget its ornament.
Don't forget its ornament, y'all. Remember, these ornaments, when you purchase silver to get these ornaments, it goes straight to the devs. And then they can keep building new, fun exotics. Okay? So here we go. First one, elemental shards. This is the first mod you're going to want to put on. Stasis shards are wells. Then you're going to want to put on elemental armaments, which means that's the one where you can spawn elemental wells using a weapon that matches your subtype. In this case, we're going stasis.
We're going all stasis, right?
We're going all stasis. We're going all in on stasis. You're using the stasis trace rifle with a stasis subclass. You're going to pick up Font of Might. Picking up a stasis well increases stasis weapon damage. So every well and shard gives you a damage boost.
I'm liking
You're
it.
going to pick up Elemental Time Dilation to increase Font of Might's damage bonus duration. And then the last slot is a little bit of a wild card. My first choice would be Well of Potency, which is a seasonal artifact mod. Picking up a well of the matching type gives you super energy. But that's in the final tier. So if you're already purchased Focusing Lens and Particle Deconstruction, then you would have to reset your artifact in order to purchase that.
Which is a pain. It's a royal
bit of a pain.
Yeah.
And it's more than a bit of a pain. Let's be real.
But I like the fact that you could. And is that the expensive one that you're normally going to put in your class item? That Well of Potency or the Well of Restoration?
I don't think that I don't think it needs to go. Yeah, it's still a well mod, so it doesn't need to go in the class item. It still goes in the combat mod slot, so it can go in any piece.
It can go in any piece.
But it does cost 5 energy.
What are we looking at here in terms of your armor affinity that you're putting these things into? Do they have to be stasis?
For most of them, yeah, they're going to have to be stasis.
Okay.
There are 2 that can be
I'm
any.
working on it. I'm working on that. Getting a full stasis set of decently rolled armor.
And that final one, if you want Well of Restoration, that's another stasis piece. If you go with Well of Potency, or you just kind of want to ignore that one, then that'll be, then you can do 3. So if you only have 2 stasis armor pieces, you can still rock this build.
Yeah, I'm looking. You got the shards, the Well of Restoration, and Elemental Time Dilation. That's 3 of the 4 that you can buy from. Are there other stasis mods? Outside of purchasing them from the seasonal vendor?
Yeah, you can unlock them in the wild for
Yes,
each,
that's right. I knew there were some more. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't bothered with them yet. I knew I've gotten some more.
There's a few more, like the kickstart mods for like utility kickstart on class items, and grenade kickstart on arms, and those are pretty good. So anyway, this build, those mods work really well with Augur's Scepter in terms of using Augur's Scepter to create slowing bursts on final blows, getting super energy from those from these wells potentially, which allows you to activate its catalyst, which then slows and freezes enemies as you're damaging them and increases a damage buff, which then
This is going to be OP.
Yeah, it causes a lot of synergy, and you just kind of start. I'm seeing hypothetically that you would just shred everything.
Yeah.
What's the name for this build? Do you have a clever name?
No.
How about Mr. Freeze?
I like that. Yeah. How about Freeze Miser?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Freeze Miser. Yeah.
I like it.
If it's Mr. Freeze, then next Halloween event we're gonna get the Batman outfit.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that's perfect.
But Batman would be a hunter because of the cloak and shit. So
Yeah, obviously.
Definitely. For sure.
but it'd be part hunter, part titan because Batman punches stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be a combination of classes. Batman's
Yeah, hybrid.
half hunter, half titan.
It's that
Cow.
Kapow.
Kapow.
That's why he's a superhero. All right. So when you're rocking your stasis build, just make sure that you put in at least the stasis shard aspect. Each class has one that has a way to build stasis shards. And I have some recommended fragments. Whisper of Conduction is a fragment that makes shards track to you.
Oh.
It also gives you plus 10 resilience, so you don't have to worry too much about like running over each shard. They'll track to you. Whisper of Rhyme, those stasis shards give you an overshield, in addition to giving you a damage buff from your mods. Gives you an overshield. Whisper of Bonds, defeating frozen targets grants super energy. So as your scepter is freezing them and you're destroying them, then you're getting super energy back, which is nice. And Whisper of Hedrons, after freezing a target, you get dramatically increased weapon stability, aim assist, recovery, mobility, and resilience.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
Richard,
liking it.
If you already thought that Augur's Scepter was OP, try rolling with these mods.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
See if you enhance your opinion.
What I've done now is I've got like my top 4 rolls on armor for each piece. I've like before I'm dumping resources into them, I've made one for each affinity. So I have a solar, an arc, a void, and stasis. So I have a full stasis set that I can go to town with this, but it's gonna cost a lot because I haven't done anything with it yet, right? But they're good. It's well rolled. Everything's 60 plus. In some cases, like 65. So I'm looking forward to trying it.
You could upgrade each one just to like level 7.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is a good spot to start at if you're just like experimenting with it.
Yeah, and then as I get resources, I can creep up and masterwork one at a time or whatever from there.
I will say that this build, I think, is going to work best with warlocks. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. They've got a really sweet exotic Mantle of Battle Harmony, which I don't have.
So in other words, I have to
wait a minute.
get my stasis warlock sorted.
Mm-hmm.
I might have that mantle. I'm going to open up Dim and see if I have it because I'm excited.
Check it, and if you got time tonight / before tomorrow's reset, then the legendary lost sector on the moon right now is rewarding exotic chest pieces.
Which is the mantle if I go in with my warlock.
Mm-hmm.
I do have it. I must have gotten it. I must have done that already. It's an okay roll. Recovery. It's got good intellect. Yeah, this could work. I could do this. I'm going to do the Mantle of Harmony. Mantle of Harmony with the Augur's Scepter equals Mr. Freeze.
There you go.
Coming to town. All right.
And if you got the catalyst done already, even better.
Even better.
I don't have the catalyst done. I don't think.
The aspects. Well, I think that
this will get you there.
This will get you there.
Hold on.
Aspects I'd recommend
Checking dim again
glacial.
to see if I have the freaking catalyst for this thing.
The aspects I'd recommend are Glacial Harvest and Ice Flare Bolts for our warlocks who are still listening.
Yeah.
Freezing an enemy spawns stasis shards around the frozen targets. That's just, you should have that one to get the stasis shards.
I mean, I managed to get the catalyst first try when it was brought out. I don't think Pelham has it yet. You get it from the Astral Alignment, don't you? I think so.
And you probably have an increased chance if you do
I
it on
don't
Legendary.
have it yet. Yeah, I don't have it. So I've got to do some astral alignments.
Yep, you got to grind that out.
Maybe it's an increase on the higher difficulty.
I think it is. That would make sense.
Better be. Why else would they give us this higher difficulty?
For a seasonal challenge, because why not?
Oh, just to play the game.
Yeah.
And be challenged.
Just like the one they added before, it was like complete astral alignment in under 10 minutes. That was bugged when that first came out. That didn't work.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I never did those time challenges.
Wait, is it? It's in the kinetic slot. It's in your primary slot, right?
Yes, that is accurate.
I was just using it earlier. It's so much fun. My gosh. I feel super.
I gotta get my hands on it.
Yeah, I don't have the catalyst yet, which means I gotta do some farming over in those. I have to do some of those things anyway, just to get some of the seasonal challenges done. So yeah, thank you very much for that enlightening bit of information there, Stego. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. If you've got the scepter, give this build a shot.
Give it a shot.
That's rich coming from someone who doesn't have the scepter.
Do the Hunter and Titan have any interesting exotic armor that would perhaps be good for this build? I wonder.
I don't really think so.
Maybe just one that would replenish your super, or I don't know if there's any of those. I know you'd have to run a
The hunter legs, right?
You want stasis. Yeah, I mean you could use Orpheus rig, I guess, to synergize with the super, but no, you want stasis, right?
You want a stasis one.
You want stasis.
What is it? Shards of Galanor?
Right, that's the one I was thinking of. That might go good with this.
I don't have that yet. I haven't been running my lost sectors.
No, me neither. I just haven't been playing much. I think all of us are kind of like on Destiny semi-hiatus here.
Yeah, we've been playing other games.
I've been playing real life. Just been so busy. It's been crazy over here.
I've been trying to get my achievements done in Skyrim.
Skyrim. Oh, that is a perfect segue into our final segment here, right? If I can.
It really is.
Which is our beloved and something we do before we sign off, and that is
non-Destiny media consumption.
Yeah, our non-Destiny media consumption. Hey, Ghost, what have you been playing outside of Destiny?
Skyrim.
What edition of Skyrim? Hasn't there been some sort of update, or has that come out yet? This extra
The
content?
anniversary edition comes out next month, and if you own the special edition, you get it free. So.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's added more like stuff to Creation Club, and if you're doing Skyrim legit, obviously mods won't count. Mods, if you have mods on, you won't get achievements. But if you get them from Creation Club, it still works because it's legit.
Wow. Well, that's
So I
something
started off like when I was in legit. I started off from Creation Club. There was like this ebony armor set, which was free. So I started off with that and a couple of weapons. In a way, you have to go kill someone for it, but it's an easy start.
How many characters have you played in Skyrim over the years?
Ooh, I don't know. I've played it and started again at least probably 15 times.
Wow. Oh wow, you are a fan. I think I've been through that game twice on 2 different characters. That's doing
magic.
everything, even the DLCs. Like everything.
Yeah.
Even the home building and all that stuff. And I think on my second character, I chose a different faction in the war. I
always choose Imperials because the first house you get is in Whiterun.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm biased with that one. I do like the Solitude house too. Like probably the most expensive one. It's like 25k.
Yeah. Stego, have you been consuming anything outside the realm of Destiny 2 and real life?
I have made some serious progress in Metroid Dread. It's not a particularly long game, but I'm there near the end. I was stuck for a little bit, but I am approaching the end of it, and I am excited to complete my first playthrough of that game on the Switch. Also, we just finished season 2 of Making the Cut on Amazon with Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum.
Recommend?
They're still at it.
They're still.
Oh yeah, if you have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I do.
You have Amazon Prime,
and
you were into Project Runway. They're still at it. Give it a go.
I'm going to give it a go because I was definitely a Project Runway fan, at least for the... What's the British version of Project Runway? We watched that too, didn't we?
Project Catwalk.
Catwalk, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, you were probably still in diapers when I was
really
watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something you would normally gravitate towards, Ghost.
It's a fashion design competition show.
Yeah, but you had me at Tim Gunn, to be honest. I can't get enough of him. He's awesome.
We're just happy they're still at it and doing their thing.
That's pretty amazing. That's
always cool to see young designers.
And I really need to be completely upfront. This is absolutely no shade at the current iteration of Project Runway with Christian Siriano taking Tim Gunn's place and Carly Kloss taking Heidi Klum's. Mm-hmm. I think they're doing a bang-up job.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that. Yeah. RomanceGirl, do you have anything to add?
We watched we're watching the latest season of What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu.
Funny stuff.
And and I've been playing Coffee Talk on Game Pass, which is just a little
when I saw you on that, I
novel.
thought it was like a website and not a game.
Like a what?
I thought it was like a website, not a game.
Oh. No, it's just a little visual novel / barista sim. It's very, just laid back.
Sounds
and
Japanese.
A lot. I'm pretty sure it's American. It's just kind of like a little indie project.
Sure.
It takes place in a version of Seattle where there's vampires, werewolves, succubus and whatnot elves walking around.
Whoa!
And they all are
now I want
visitors
it.
of your...
Hold up. Is this Skyrim?
No. It's a visual novel / barista sim. So you're just reading the conversations of people who come into your cafe and making them drinks. It is not an action video game by any means. It's a lot of reading. It's mostly reading.
Yeah, just imagine you went to
be very upfront about that.
Yeah. Imagine you went to your local coffee shop and you sat down and there just happened to be like an elf sitting next to you on one side.
I'm watching a video on it as you're talking about it, and the elf just showed up when you said that. And it's like it looks like a coffee shop meets Mos Eisley here.
Yes.
It's pretty cool looking, actually. Coffee talk.
It looked very interesting as I was
I've been more
glimpses.
interested in trying out like more these novel type video games where it's just kind of like an interactive novel with some, it's kind of like a graphic novel but in a video game setting.
Yeah, I mean, I like that genre. They do. What was that game I played? Salliebug and I tried. I think it's Life is Strange. Has that feel to it, but it's more like investigative, trying to solve puzzles and things, and crime and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
We're big fans of. We've mentioned it before, but ProZD plays games with Jay, and they do playthroughs of the game Danganronpa, which is like an investigative visual novel. Highly recommend that. That's on YouTube playthrough.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So I haven't been doing much media at all. It's basically been dealing with lawyers and realtors, trying to close an estate that we are executors of. And outside of that, I've been trying to do a little bit of Halloween themed stuff. So I've watched a movie I've never seen before called Castle of Blood. I think it's 1960s. And then I watched the 1931. I didn't get all the way through it. I fell asleep actually. But the 1931 Dracula, which I watched the Spanish version. And the Spanish version was made at the same time as the Bela Lugosi version in English. So I think the Bela Lugosi people came on the set first thing in the morning, and then they would film until about 4 p.m. And then the Spanish crew would come on and take over using the same sets, the same equipment. It's just different actors doing the same movie, but in Spanish. And a lot of critics say it's the better of the two. And so I watched that again. And Castle of Blood. That's been my non-Destiny media consumption for the past couple of weeks. There's probably some podcasts. We listened to a few Radio Labs on our trips that we've had to take. And that sort of thing. Also Destiny podcasts as well, but that's not non-Destiny. So what's the ProZD?
I'm not playing Destiny.
What is
I
that?
put a link to it both in the notes and also the chat. That's a link to the first episode of Danganronpa 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Let's Play
Nice. I'll check it out. Thank you.
channel.
Very cool. Okay.
I've still got grinding to do on that Tales of Arise game.
Are you still doing
I
that?
saw
The
a
Tales
lot
games
of,
are long.
I mean, I think I'm level 80 something, but they added this like collab, like an anime collab with the Sword Art Online. And you have to be like level 98 to beat them to get their stuff. And I'm like,
you know how to grind. Get to it.
Get to it and add it.
Yeah, I think I'm like 89, possibly.
Oh, so you're very close.
192, it's one of them. Yeah, there's this one area you can actually grind and get really a decent amount of XP.
Yeah.
Well, the night is young.
Well, you mentioned Tales of Arise in chat last time, and Salliebug and I got on YouTube and watched like 3 or 4 videos, and I was like, yes, this is like getting back to classic Japanese RPG, like Skies of Arcadia type.
Yeah, ever since that, I have been looking at the previous Tales games that are like old.
Yeah, I played one of the Tales games, but that's the other thing. I kind of started going down that rabbit hole. The whole series of Tales would be kind of fun. That might be a summer thing to do, Just
Yeah, they kind of did say with Tales of Rise that it's not gonna get a sequel,
yeah.
which kind of sucks.
Mm.
But I think it's done really good sales-wise.
Yeah, and all the reviews we watched said the story's just amazing. It's like really good characters, really good story. So you get invested.
Which is funny. They had that collab DLC they added with the Sword Art Online. There's a voice actor in Tales that has the same English voice actor as the main character in Sword Art Online.
It's a small world in that business. All right. I think that wraps it up for right now. Plus, my cats are getting very restless here. I think there's a mouse that they're after. So I need
my cats are ready for mealtime. They are staring at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure our
Those
viewers
stitches these days are
heard.
just...
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start the outro music, and I'm going to say thanks to anybody who tunes into this thing, all 2 of you. And yeah, we're the Paracasual Destiny podcast, live on YouTube every other Saturday night at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And you can listen to the archived audio anywhere you want to, really. So like and subscribe to us. You can find us on Twitter as well. Just look up Paracasual Destiny podcast and you'll find us. So from Sooltime, Greenstego, RomanceGirl, and of course, last but not least, Roman numeral 2, Ghost VX2, all the way from the UK. Thank you so much, Ghost, for joining us and rounding out the podcast tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I saw the message a bit late because my phone was updating.
That's all right. Glad you could make it.
Oh, well, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's it. Bye, everybody. See you 2 weeks from now.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Non-Destiny media consumption.